Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, good morning and good evening. And today we're gonna have a podcast. And for today's podcast, the theme is about Indonesian government. I'm here today as your host for today's podcast. I'm the Fawwaz-Izzaan as a host, and there will be two people that will join me for today's podcast, which is the first guest is Izzaan Abehaki.
Hello everyone, my name is Izzaan.
Come Izzaan.
So,
There you go, Izzaan. And also we have the second guest is Come Rival Satya Hamdani.
hello everyone.
Second guest.
You good? Yes.
Okay, so these are the two people that will join us for our podcast for today. And before we start, do you guys have anything to say to our viewer?
Okay, enjoy the video.
Yeah, well, they say enjoy the view, so I hope you guys enjoy. And I guess let's just start getting into it. And you guys ready for it?
Yes.
Okay, so the first question will be thrown into Izzaan. And the first question is, Izzaan mentioned about something that's Gus Miftah
Yes.
and Sahroni. Okay, why Gus Miftah and Sahroni? Why just because like, they do corruption. We know that lately it's been going on in the Indonesian
For
news.
Tirto idea article.
Yeah, for the
Okay, in my view, focusing on high people like Gus Miftah and Saroni or official service only represent a small segment of the public service. While the case definitely highlight official service of a moral and ethical practice among certain official. Not, for example, not all official service is doing bad activity, yeah, not all.
No.
But
Some people
that's a small
portion.
of the official service, not all.
Okay.
But they do will be the right place or right way to be work at the official service.
Okay, so you meaning that from your answer that not all the government do some corruption.
Yeah, I believe that the morality of official service, servants of various level continue to be work harder and with a dedication.
Okay, so it's like some portion of it that will do some corruption or some
Yeah.
bad things that will go against the way, but because like not everyone in the government
Yeah.
service will do
Only
the corruption,
small.
only small of it, right? And many of the government still do the right way and
Yeah.
still do the actual work. Okay, thank you for your answer, Rifa, and thoughts of
And I think that is very insightful point from Izzaan.
Thank you.
And I'm completely agree with that.
Sure will do. And okay, let's get straight into the second question is, you also mentioned about Pertamina. And
Yeah.
from your previous question, you take the article from theater.id and
Yes, the same article.
you take theater.id
Yes.
too for the second question. Okay, so why Pertamina? Like, why do you use Pertamina as your real life reflection for the corruption? Why?
Okay, this scenario highlight the two systematic of corruption. The first one is government failure or failure systematic. The corruption not always do happen because the missing role, but the will happen with the whole ways make a bad activity.
Can you see that?
Like for example, the official service make a job falling down to make her easier to corruption the money or big project something. And the second one is culture immunity, and the people is
Don't care.
don't care about that and tolerant bad activity, aka
They're-
corruption. The normalization.
Okay, so seeing that you answered, you got 2 points, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, the first point from your second question is that the government knew, some government or some organization knows what they are doing and they do it on purpose so that they have the higher chance to corrupt, is it? So that they know, oh, if I will do this, the chances of me doing corruption will be higher. And they know what they're doing and they just keep doing what they're doing because they do the corruption and they get the benefit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And the second point you mentioned is that people don't care at all, is it? Okay. People
Normalization, yeah.
people know that corruption is bad, but they did not do anything. They just like, oh, someone did the corruption, but I'm nobody, so he care at all, is it? They didn't care at all, is it? And they do not want to report or anything. They just sit down and silent.
Yes.
See?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, is that all you want to say?
Yeah, that's all for me.
Okay, thank you very much, Izzaan, for
You're
your
welcome.
first and second question answer, and I hope everyone that listen can actually understand the point of it. And okay, so we are done with the first and second question for our guest one, which is from Izzaan, and we knew that some government or some public activities do corrupt, and maybe some are not. Only small portion of it will do the corruption, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and most of the time, they actually do the job and actually do what they were told to do, and they're doing the actual right way. And the second is that someone knew what they were doing about the corruption, and they will still doing it because for the sake of their own richness. So like, if someone do this, they will get the chance to corrupt even further, and they do it. And the secondly is people just ignore the fact that someone do some corruption, and they will just act like nothing happened, like they act it's normal, which is it is not normal for someone to corrupt and then just be silent. Yeah, Izzaan answer is like perfect, and we'll know why Indonesia has still some cases still going on, the corruption cases still going on. And moving on, I think that's a wrap for guest number one, and we should ask 2 questions for our guest number 2. All right, let's get to question 1 and 2 for guest number 2. Okay. Okay, so that's a wrap for guest number 1, and I think we should get into our second guest, which is guest number 2, Rival. And we got 2 questions coming along with Rival, and let's get into the first question for guest number 2.
Oke, disclaimer guys. Jadi filenya korup dan nggak bisa diapa-apain. Jadi pertanyaan pertama dari Rival saya pindahin di bagian paling akhir. Terima kasih.
Alright, that's the first question from Rival. The first answer that we get from Rival, and it's only a nice answer. And we should ask the second question, which is something that blows my mind because I have nothing to say about this. Like, I don't even know this was a thing until now, which is something about foreign permit. You guys, foreign permit. Have you heard about foreign permit, right?
Yes.
That some people actually take advantage and also take a chance to corrupt in a foreign permit. Like, how does one do such thing? Like, how do they get corrupt in foreign permit? Like, how do they do that?
It sounds very crazy, right?
It's totally
It's
crazy.
just work permits, paperwork, right?
Right.
But that exactly when people see easy opportunities. When when this process is taking so many steps, document, and maybe some people don't really understand the system.
Right.
That makes some people will think like, oh, I can take this little profit here without anyone noticing it, right? So it's just not about being poor or greedy. It's about moral flexibility.
Right.
When you think small side deal is okay,
Right.
that's when you think like your ethic is starting
To fade.
to fade.
Right.
So basically to corruption in this
Foreign.
something like as simple as work permits,
Right.
it's not just happens because has a really complicated system, but there is some loopholes. That loopholes get advantage by some people who thinks it's don't no one will ever notice it.
Right.
All right. So like I mentioned before, it's not just about being greedy or being so poor. It's about mental
And moral.
moral. I mean moral. What you say? Boundaries.
Right.
Boundaries slowly shifted, right?
Sure.
And once you start believing in that small side deal, it's harmless, and from there the ethics will be start crumble, right?
Right.
So
Turns out.
from there, small action can bring you into a serious corruption.
Right.
So for the relevant example for small scale, like you can think about security guard when he accept the morning coffee for skipping the visitor to checking visitor bags, right?
Seriously.
It's just a small It's just a small action, but can shape your integrity and moral.
That will be doing in immigration security.
Right.
I was looked at. When I'm at a passport, yeah.
Yeah, you know
You think so?
the security and someone that in the immigration that do that also, right?
Maybe not just a coffee, but money, food, another
And
food.
that will benefit, right?
But
He give you a money to buy some coffee, right?
Yes.
I
A cigarette.
That's Indonesia, man. And it's kind of funny, you know, because this is kind of related. And if you see me laughing, because that I've seen people do it as well, and we are not the type of people that do that. We just against it. Sure, obviously. And yeah, that's actually it's crazy because you know it's like such a small thing, like such a paperwork, and they still try to sneak something so that they can make something off of it. Like for example, the security guard or the immigration that will take something or something that will benefit them, and they will enjoy the benefit while it's against the morality of the topic of the day. And it's kind of a loophole, is it?
Yes.
Right. It's kind of a loophole, and also because of this, even though if someone says that it's a small thing, it is not a small thing, and because of this small thing, the moral will be faded. Like we cannot trust anyone anymore. Like we cannot trust the security guard because like you know people can just hand some money and then they will approve whatever the one that give the money say, like, oh, just let me in, I will give you some money. They will let them in because of the money. Is it true like that?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, man, that's something that happens. You see often, and yeah, because of that, the moral will become less, and eventually faded, and we cannot even trust anyone lately.
Do not do that, right?
Do not do that. You know, that's something that we cannot do, and we're against it. And that's why we create this podcast, and especially this topic for today. And thank you for your answer. It's great, and the explanation, and also the relevant example is actually we seen that every day, you know, and it's all related. Thank you very much, Rifal, for the answer and for the example, and thank you, Izzaan, for adding up the elaboration. I mean, yeah, we've seen that, man. We know someone. We might know someone who do it as well. And thank you very much. And yes, let's get into the conclusion. Okay, everyone. So I think that's all for today's podcast, man. We asked guests. One Izzaan for the question 1 and question 2. We also asked guests 2, Rifal, for the question and question 2. And I'm quite satisfied for both of the guests, and they give absolutely nice answer, and I totally as a host can get what they mean and actually relate and understand actually like the meaning of what their elaboration means. And you know, if I can enjoy it, and I hope you guys can too. And you know, as a closing, I'm gonna repeat the conclusion of each guest, which is Izzaan. The first thing is that not all the government are bad. Some government do actual jobs, and also some government actually know what they were doing with the risk of corrupting, and they will start doing it no matter what. And some people just don't care about at all. And that's for the Izzaan. And for the Rifal, you know, some people take some money, you know, from, you know, under business money, like for corruption things, like when you want to build a construction site, they will take a small profit of it. And for the foreign permit, they will take some money of it too. And both of it is a form of corruption. And that's for the 4 questions, and each question has 2 for each guest. So that means we will wrap the question all. And from the 4 questions, there's just 1 point that I need to highlight, which is corruption. And that's it for our podcast today. And thank you, guest number 1 and guest number 2. And I hope you guys can understand and actually enjoy the podcast. And sorry if there's any misspoken or misunderstanding of the podcast of today. And thank you very much for your attention. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
See you later, bro.
Peace out.
Okay, so we're done with the first guest and their question, and let's just straight and get into the second guest, which is from Rival.
Yes.
And we got two questions coming along, and let's just throw the question in. So the first question is, there's something that's called like good development project. Like it's the project that will do good for their own people, but in some cases there are some organization or some people that also do some corruption from this good development project. So why does this happen? Like why do they corrupt on this project?
Honestly, that's happened because when money and power get involved, maybe some people like they forgot where they're in that place in the first place. We know that a public project is always come with big budget, long terms, and a lot of details, right? So it makes easier for certain official to slip on their own extra bonus without anyone noticing it, right?
Right.
So in this Oku case, in the fact that legislator and PUPR official,
Right.
that get caught because they show how some official start treating money public like it's an extra what do we call it, extra income,
Right.
rather than take a responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So once you take this point of view, you think that this wasn't a big trouble or big problem. It take a sign that their compass morality, it's already spin off the general.
Okay, I see.
You see,
your
right?
point. Yeah, right. That's all. That's it. Okay.
Yes. Oh yeah. For the relevant example, you can imagine like when neighborhood leader get a fund to fix the community post, but secretly he influence the cost, so he can still keep the little extra for himself. That's the same mindset, but just a little
Simple.
Yes, simple.
Okay. So the simplified example of it. Okay, so I get what you mean. Like the actual project is meant to do good to the citizen, to the people. But when someone is taken granted for the money, they will actually influence the money. Like you say, like for example, they will risen up the price for the cost, even though it's not really that much of a cost. But they said, oh, I'm gonna make this cost much higher so that they can keep some percentage of the money and still do the work. And some cases that some buildings even become less powerful and not get what the intention was supposed to do. Like they take the money and the amount of money get less, right?
Yes.
And then the buildings will not be as good as how they were supposed to be. And because of that, many people still do the secret fee method, like keeping the money secretly.
Yes.
Is that what you were trying to say?
Yeah.
And for the example, I love the example because it's simplified and actually it's really easy to understand. Like there's still a bunch of things that's going on, right?
Yes.
Right. Like in some places in Indonesia, of course.